start with the opening statement, Coach.
Well, we're very excited and about the win. You know, this is the first time since '99 and 2000 that Murray State's had back-to-back winning seasons. And I think only maybe the fourth or fifth time in the history of the school that's happened. I'm not sure about that, but so you know that of course that isn't our goal to just have a winning season. I mean that isn't what we shoot for, but that was the best we could be today. So that's a major accomplishment. We had 17 seniors that have worked very hard. It was good to send them out with a big win today. And I always tell them that you're always remembered by your senior year. And accomplishing that goal today with the back-to-back 6-win seasons is a step in the right direction, just climbing another rung of the ladder. I was real pleased with our defense early on in the game especially. They set the tone with the Quay Huzzy with the fumble recovery. I don't believe they had a first down in the first quarter. And then and Doc O'Julian made the interception and ran it back. And at the time, defense was winning the game all by themselves. So they played extremely well. I thought the big thing early on was the wind was brutal today, and you know we used that to our advantage early in the game and got a lot of points out of that. Unfortunately, offensively, we moved the ball extremely well all day today, except for 2 series there at the end of the third quarter, but we bogged down in what we kind of call the orange zone. It was a little bit outside the 20-yard line, and a little bit of that had to do with the way Austin Peay was playing. They were playing kind of more of a bend but don't break type deal, making you work the ball down the field, and you kind of get in that little no man's area, and we missed a few plays. But Keenan did a fabulous job kicking the ball, and our operation was very good there. And in a defensive battle, if you will, early in the game, when all those points would come back. But you know, it just the way we played in the past, it makes you very nervous when you could have been up 35-0, and instead you're up 16-0. But nevertheless, we had a good drive to open the second half. We went in a little bit of a lull there, gave up a couple big plays, and then the fake punt from Cullen to Walter Powell kind of thwarted any momentum that they may have thought they had at the time, and then we finished that off with a big run by Mike. So I was real pleased. We're excited about it. Puts us another step closer, and it keeps all of our goals still intact, you know, as far as postseason aspirations and having one more win than we did last year. Any questions?
You touched a little bit about setting the tone early with Quay. That's something you guys had struggled a little bit this season. How big was it? I mean, in the second half also to get some big plays early on. Well,
I think it was big. I was very concerned. Usually on senior day, you speed up your preparation. You have to go out on the field a little bit earlier. You have to give them the pregame talk, which isn't much. If they're not ready to play by then, I mean, that talk is pretty much just a standard talk that we give each week. But you have to do that way ahead of time. The guys are sitting around waiting. Early on, I don't think our offense had very much intensity about themselves, but our defense did, and getting those first points, I thought that was very big for our football team.
Say goodbye to this group of seniors. I mean, you inherited a lot of them and brought in a couple as well, but just talk about their collective contribution to help build this program and get it on.
Yeah. Well, we still got hopefully a lot of ball left with them, but they're good guys, and they're good citizens. They work hard, and it was good to send them out with a win here at home today. So we're mighty proud of them, and you always count on your seniors to be the leaders of the football team, and some of them are, and some of them aren't, and that's part of it too. We got a lot of underclassmen that do a good job of leading as well, but that was big for them today, and I'm proud of them. Anybody else?
You still scored, I think, all 7 times you were in the actual red zone, but still had to settle for a couple field goals. Any thoughts about kind of some of that stall in the red zone?
Well, some of it was them, and then some of it when you get in a kind of a groove, we're running the ball well, and you say, well, and if you try to run it one more time and maybe it doesn't work, but if you go throw it a couple times, then you go, golly, man, why aren't we running the ball anymore? So I think we early on maybe we didn't do as good a job as we normally do of mixing up the calls, and we made a little bit of an adjustment there after the second drive, after the second field goal that we made with our run game, because they were committing a lot of guys to the pass, and the way they were playing, they had those defensive ends out wide where they could play the run and play the pass. So at any given time, they could have 9 committed to the pass. But so it left them a little weak in the middle. So we made just a slight adjustment with our blocking, and then I think that allowed Mike to really make some big runs. And we maybe got a little conservative at times, but hindsight's 20/20. A lot of times we'll run Mike in there a couple times and he doesn't get much, and then all of a sudden we run him in there one more time and he'll take it to the house. But he played well. I thought that Casey was very efficient today. Didn't make very many mistakes. And we protected the ball well. And then defensively, anytime you force turnovers and you get 14 points off of just straight up defense, you got a great opportunity to win the ball game.
Talk a little bit about Navarre Griffin. He's the guy that we've seen kind of coming along, and he had a good game today.
Yeah, Navarre. Here's a guy that walked on the team, and we had a little trouble early on with him. With getting his NCAA paperwork completed in time, so he missed a lot of camp, and we really didn't know where to play him because we had a lot of depth at receiver. So he's played several positions for us, but then we went through that lull right there at the UT Martin game where we had 9 regulars. Most of them were starters. Some of them played a lot that were injured, and so we had to move him to that tight end position. And each week he's gotten better. He's got a lot of work doing his blocking, and that kind of keeps him out of the starting lineup because Durrani's such a good blocker out there. But you're asking a walk-on freshman to go out there and make plays, and he does that. He does that each and every week, and we're very high on him, and he continues to get better each and every day.
And Mike rushed for 134 yards, had a passing or a receiving touchdown. At one point in the season, it didn't look like he'd get to 1,000 yards, and now it's a very real possibility. Especially late in the season, can you see his sense of urgency change?
Well, no. Ever since the homecoming win over Eastern Illinois, he started playing like I thought he was capable of playing. Eastern Kentucky was a great game for him, even in defeat. And then I'll be honest with you, I know we only had around 60 yards rushing last week against Tech, but to me that was the best game he played all season. I mean, he made the tough yards that he hadn't done since the Louisville game. So he's playing well, and like I always say with our offense, if we're able to run the ball, that opens up a lot of other avenues for us. And having him back full go there and doing what he did today definitely benefited our offensive production. And then, again, you take the defense. I haven't seen the stat sheet, but I imagine our yards wasn't overwhelming, but we had a short field to work with all the time. And I was really proud early on that we kept them pinned back. We played the wind to our favor because I tell you what, that wind was that was a 20, 30-yard wind out there on any given kick or any given play. So that, to me, that was the key point of the game. And then the big play in the second half was Cullen's pass to Walter. But just as important, the offense was able to finish the drive and kind of end any chance that they may have to make it close or come back there at the end.